to another episode of the After Parties Me, the Jury segment. I am Tam, your host, not your lover, not your lover. Bloopers. I'm Tam, your host, not your lawyer, but your nosy best friend. And this is where you come to get all your courtroom tea served piping hot. Hey, I'm also human. Today is the day that we will continue to chip away at the Karen Reed Trial 1 sidebars. And if you haven't found out anything, you have found out that it is highly entertaining. And we got to pull the curtains back a little bit to see all the things that were happening during this trial. All of the foolishness and shenanigans, the circus, if you will, that was the Karen Reed first trial. And I can't wait till we get the second trial. We are up to day 16 in this case. Hey Lorenzo, good morning. We are up to day 16. Day 16, the completion of day 16, I should say, because we did days 14 through 16 last Saturday. So day 16 is short, just under 30 minutes. And then we will go right into day 17. And we won't be able to continue day 17. Day 17 is an hour and a half long. So we will start day 17. Lisa, good morning. I'm so glad you could join us this morning. So we'll start day 17 so that we are together for at least an hour. I know that you guys want to at least be with me for an hour. So I'm going to jump right into it because there's much to cover, and y'all know that I'm going to be pausing and having minty things to say because that's just what I do. So let's not delay and get right into the continuation of day 16. And away we go.
Having anything to do before the Honorable Evelyn Canoni, Justice of the Superior Court, holding in Dedham within and for the County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is in session. Please be seated.
So Rob, I'm going to show you just two photographs. Ask you to just look at those and look at them.
Okay.
And do you recognize those? Or do you recognize what's depicted in them?
Do I recognize what?
What's depicted in each of those photographs?
Karen's car.
Okay.
Okay, really quickly, this is Carrie Roberts. Oh, sorry, guys. She was also with Karen the morning that John was found. It was her and Jen McCabe with Karen that morning.
May I approach, Ron?
Yes.
I will seek introducing the notice and next exhibits.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, while those are being marked, may we approach?
Hold on. Sidebar?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Are we having a sidebar already?
Okay.
Your Honor, I just wanted to alert the court as far as what these are. So essentially, these are still shots from that video.
Yep.
This one is zoomed in and enhanced. There's also a video taken from that video in which it's zoomed in and enhanced, similar to what's depicted in what's now 102. Obviously, I don't think it's anything that this witness has seen before, but assuming there's no objection to it, what I will do after going through the photographs is have the video marked as an exhibit.
Okay.
I haven't seen the video. I have no objection to this.
Yeah.
We haven't received a copy of the enhanced video, so I just haven't looked at it. But I have no objection to this.
So it's essentially that was up the other day, and we talked about whether your expert would be willing. He didn't have to enhance it. Is that the same thing?
Correct.
Okay, that's fine, Your Honor.
Just for the record, it's in the link, the same as the still shots. There's a link at the bottom of the email that I sent.
Oh, okay.
Just click on the link. That'll give you the video.
Okay.
If you want to sit there and go ahead and do it beforehand.
That's okay.
Okay, so no objection to it.
No objection, subject to them laying the proper foundation for its submission.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I don't know that I can play the video for you, but then the jury's already seen it. So that's my point is, I don't think this witness can do that.
I'm assuming you're eventually going to call a witness that can.
Of course.
Your Honor, we have no issue with the photograph, but we'd just like to be able to review the video before.
All right. So I'll send the jurors out. We'll send them out, let you look at it. You may as well see if she can make the foundation and bring them back.
Okay.
I can move on from this, and if counsel wants to look at it at lunch, that's fine.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Sounds like we're gonna have your sidebar at lunchtime.
Your Honor, with permission, I'd ask to publish first what's been marked as Exhibit 101.
Okay.
And Ms. Roberts, what's up on the screen now is Exhibit 101. You indicated that's Ms. Reed's vehicle in the same position where Ms. McCabe left the car from the property, correct?
Yes.
This appears to be a still shot from the same video that you just saw in the prior.
Yes.
Ms. Dillon, if I could have Exhibit 102 now. And Ms. Roberts, what's up on the screen, that's the second photograph that I showed you just a moment ago.
Yes.
That's essentially a closer up or zoomed in image of what's in the same still image that you saw.
So this is Karen Reed's Lexus SUV. The morning that John O'Keefe was found. On the right-hand side, the passenger side of the vehicle, you can see that a portion of her tail light is missing. That's what they're trying to get at. But I will tell you that later on, the pictures of that tail light, it's no tail light. It's completely gone.
Yes.
And again, it's included using the laser pointer, just direct your attention to the damage that you observed on the right rear passenger tail light of Ms. Reed's vehicle that morning. Thank you. It's going to return the computer. Can I have a moment, John?
Yes.
So this is after the lunch break. I guess they already reviewed that video.
May we approach this briefly?
Okay.
Oh my goodness. No tail light, no mark.
I wanted to revisit before. I'm almost done, if not completely, with this witness as far as direct. In reference to the video that we had talked about before, I believe counsel has an objection, so I just wanted to clear that.
Oh, I wish I had known that. I would have looked at it.
Our objection is just that it's an enhanced video. Obviously, at the beginning of the trial, we had a lot of sort of enhanced videos that we wanted to play. We were denied that opportunity. So just out of fairness, we would object to the Commonwealth being...
Is it any different than how your media person goes and puts that little square over something and enlarges it? Is it any different than that?
It's a zoomed in 6-minute version of the video.
You want to play 6 minutes?
No. I don't want to play 6 minutes.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I need to look at it. I'll look at it tonight, and if I deem it's admissible, I'll let him put it in without any witness.
Okay.
Okay.
That's John O'Keefe's brother. Listen, do y'all think she's going to let them play this video? Did you hear what she said? Is it any different than your media person putting that little square thing over? and zooming in. Oh my goodness.
That way there and avoided this, but that's what I'll do.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So no objection to that?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry, one moment. I have no further questions for this one, Your Honor.
There was just some text on the screen. I wanted to make sure that you guys saw it. It said that this matter is not discussed in any further sidebars, so they don't know what the resolution of this thing was.
Okay, Ms. Little?
Your questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Your next witness, Mr. Lally?
Yes, Your Honor. The Commonwealth call Ms. Laura Sullivan to the stand.
They didn't ask any questions.
And what, if anything, specifically you recall about the dinner, or sort of what happened at dinner?
So we, the waiter came over. He started taking drink orders. Karen placed her order. I placed mine. Laura placed hers. Dave placed his, and then Josh ordered a dirty martini with blue cheese stuffed olives.
Objection.
I'll allow it. I don't know where it's going, and you can move to strike unless you wanted to see me, Mr. Yannetti. Okay.
I'm sorry. I expect that the next bit of testimony is going to be that my client ordered 2 drinks and that they had a laugh about it. First of all, it's not relevant. Secondly, one of the elements here is an OUI case where prior drinking should not be a part of this trial. So that's the basis for my objection.
What do you say, Mr. Lally?
Prior drinking is absolutely relevant to this trial as far as how much, you were going to have witnesses talk about indiscernible intolerances and differences between them, and the fact that she drinks, there's other statements that the defendant makes to other people about how much she had to drink on the night in question. And she first says it's a normal amount. So I think anything I can do to establish what the normal amount is perfectly okay, if not entirely appropriate.
And of course, this does nothing to establish a normal amount. It's anecdotal evidence. You can't just pick up one night from somebody's life and say that's how they always drink. It's propensity evidence. It's inadmissible. It's prejudicial, and there's no point or value to it.
Yeah.
What do you expect to get from her? What do you expect to ask? And what do you expect to get?
What I've asked is what happened at dinner. And that's what she specifically recalls from dinner, is the fact that Miss Reed ordered 2 drinks at the same time, and that she, drank while she was there. And as far as drank heavily while she was at the restaurant.
And for what purpose?
This is not even the same night. So what? Listen, if you and I go out together and it's happy hour and happy hour is almost done, I'm ordering 2 drinks on that happy hour special. For sure. That makes me what? An alcoholic? That's crazy.
Again, as it pertains to, it also sort of dovetails into the next part that she recalls from this particular dinner, is that the defendant then goes, I'm not cherry picking evidence here. There are things that go both ways.
She picks up the tab.
She picks up the tab and, sort of goes on from there into, what occurred then with the sister. I think it also goes to the defendant's state of mind. It's talking about drinking that continues on throughout this trip, and whatever her state of mind is when she thinks she sees whatever she thinks she sees in the lobby between Mr. O'Keefe and this witness's sister.
Oh,
I think there's nothing to connect the...
Listen, okay. I was trying to figure out where we were going with this. I don't remember this testimony in trial 1, but I started trial 1 late. So I missed some of the first witnesses. What they're getting at, there was an incident on a trip to, I believe, Aruba between Karen and John, where she thought she saw John and this witness's sister kiss or be flirty or something that she found to be disrespectful. And it exploded into a nasty fight between her and John. And they have been trying to get that evidence in to basically show that she was angry with John and that she may have unalived him because she was still reeling from this trip that had happened months prior. So that's where they're going with this.
30th with the 31st. You know, again, you don't just pick out a day from somebody's life and say this typifies, you know, how they drink or what's going on. If they want to get into the next day, they can get into the next day, but there's nothing relevant on the 30th.
I'm not saying it typifies, Your Honor. What I'm saying is it normalizes as far as what, you know, is a typical day, and a typical day as far as drinking is concerned for this defendant.
All right, so I'm not going to allow it in now. This witness can be recalled as to that if it comes up during extrapolation and the expert testimony as to tolerance and the rest of the testimony and what your client says to the reporter from Boston Magazine. It was indiscernible about this incident. So you can bring it back as to what was normal during this period of time, perhaps, but I'm not going to let it in right now.
Understood.
And that means, too, if that's what you're going to establish, you can bring other witnesses as to what's normal if it's challenged.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, she didn't let it in. Wow. So surprising.
What we saw him turning back to at the restaurant, the drinks that are ordered, people have what they have. And at the end of the evening, as far as the bill comes at some point. But,
Correct.
and what, if anything, do you recall about that?
Karen had paid the bill prior to us receiving it.
And what kind of reaction did you or anyone have in the
The entire table was kind of taken aback, you know, said it wasn't necessary, wanted to Venmo or give cash or something along those lines, and she declined, saying that she was honored to be there and wanted to pay for it.
You're just letting me know that she's a great gal and she got money. Like, I got it.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing further for this witness. Thank you.
I love Karen, girl. I love Karen. Karen, I want to make a
Good afternoon.
deal.
You were not present at the Waterfall Bar and Grill on January 28th of 2022 in Canton.
I was not.
You were not present at 34 Fairview Road in Canton on January 29th of 2022.
It's not.
Yet you'll agree with me that Michael Proctor, the state police trooper, visited you at your home all the way in Pembroke, Massachusetts on February 8th of 2022
Yes.
to interview you?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Anything?
I should not laugh, but sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. He just was establishing the fact that Michael Proctor, the lead investigator on this case, the now fired lead investigator on this case, he didn't interview the people that were in the house on the night that John died. He did not interview them for over a year, some of them, specifically Colin, if you can remember, the one who liked to fight. He did not interview Colin for over a year. He didn't interview some of the people in the house until days later. He interviewed them as a group instead of individually, so they grouply told their stories. So they were able to get their stories together, all of that, right? And so, but he drove miles away to interview this woman who wasn't even there. so that they could establish that Karen is an angry drunk, basically. That further shows the conspiracy.
Just briefly, as far as Trooper Proctor coming to your house, was he alone, or who, if anyone else, was he with when he came?
He was with another trooper,
Okay, and do you recall who that trooper was?
Trooper Fanning.
Nothing further on.
That doesn't help.
Your next witness, Mr. Lally?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll call Miss Marietta Sullivan.
Counsel, I'll see you while we're waiting for this witness.
Sidebar number 4, guys.
All right. For some reason, I thought she had witnessed the scene with Miss Reed.
No.
So I have a bad axe instruction. I'll give it when Miss Sullivan. Does Miss Sullivan testify?
Yes, so I objected to a lot of the foundational evidence because it's just not relevant to this case and to her relationship with John, and everything that's, happened in the relationship going back to 2013 is too attenuated to go into. So I just like a standing. If the court is going to allow.
So now she's going to give an instruction to the jury after this woman has already testified that they are not to consider any prior bad acts. But that's absolutely the reason why she should never have been allowed to testify at all. She's like, oh, I thought she was at the scene. Well, you're supposed to know, lady. She gets on my nerves.
Allow that evidence in, I'd like a standing objection so I don't have to keep standing up to object to all this background material.
What do you say, Mr. Lally?
Well, as it pertains to this witness, obviously that personally affected her, and that's how she knew John O'Keefe, so I think it is relevant and material. And as far as this witness is concerned, it's really more of just what the relationship was. So do I need to... I don't plan on asking a bunch of questions about her nephew or his father. It's more just sort of, how did you know John O'Keefe?
And I let it in through the other witness to show that they were close enough that he would talk to her too. It was relevant material. Okay. That's why I let the evidence in. All right, so object question by question. I don't see there's any need for you to get into the depth of the relationship with this witness who's the other, but you want the bad acts instruction.
They've heard it like 3 times. Do you want the jury to hear? I actually like it because it's appropriate.
Well, that's why I gave it.
I think with this witness, it's especially... Yeah, because this is the actual act.
All right.
Lisa, you are absolutely correct. They always tell the jury that they should not consider prior bad acts, but they're absolutely, if you let it in, they're absolutely going to consider that. If you slip in that she punched John 2 years ago and she was a violent drunk, then they're absolutely going to consider it on the night in question, right? So to me, again, I use this term a lot. Once you ring the bell, you can't unring it. She should never have allowed this lady to testify. She wasn't there. She doesn't know anything. All she's there to do is to establish that this is not a nice person. After she done bought you dinner. Oh, hussy.
I thought her sister had seen this and was going to testify about that.
No.
All right. So I'll give the same instruction. And either you let me know, Mr. Lally, or you let me know, Mr. Yannetti.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I could, just one last thing as far as scheduling. This is the last witness I have today. The next witness will be Mr. Higgins, and given the hour, I don't know if it makes sense. He's not here. I didn't anticipate that we were...
You don't think you can get him done today?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay, well, this is the first time in this entire trial that we've finished the witnesses for the day. We're not there yet, but I don't have a problem with that. It'll be minutes. Let's try and finish this witness.
Oh, I think we have a good track record for the last 3 witnesses, don't you? Since we've got a quick second, can I put something on the record?
Of course you can.
That's a little personal. I'm planning on going back to see my partner on Friday. Unless Mr. Lally, and I'm not pressing anything, I'm not asking for any special dispensation, but unless Michael Proctor or Higgins is on the stand on Tuesday, I was going to ask the court leave so that I could absent myself and not have to come back for the one day.
Sure.
If it's going to be Higgins or Proctor, I'll be here.
I don't have a problem with that. Do you think you'll finish Higgins on Friday in one day?
I will, yeah.
Do you think you'll finish?
I think I have a solid 3 to 4 for Cross based on what my outline is a little shorter and a little peppier, but it'll be 3 hours.
Peppy.
So it depends on the direct.
I anticipate the direct will roughly be an hour and a half.
Well, you've got 5.5 hours. So if we're low on time.
I have no problem with you being out on that day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
She said, I have no problem with you being out. In fact, I prefer it because you get on my nerves.
Sullivan, please.
Please always let the magistrate recording during the case not hearing the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God.
I do.
And, Your Honor, I think this may be the appropriate.
All right. So folks, I'm going to say again that first instruction I gave you with the last witness, that you're about to hear testimony about certain conduct or behavior allegedly committed by the defendant. Ms. Reed is not charged with committing any crimes other than those charged within the indictment. So this witness's testimony may not and must not be considered by you as any evidence that the defendant has a bad character or as evidence that she may have a propensity to commit the crimes with which she's been charged. You may not take the defendant's prior acts that you'll hear about as a substitute for proof that the defendant committed the crimes charged here. But you may consider the act solely on the limited issue of the defendant's state of mind and the nature of her relationship with John O'Keefe as it might go to motive or intent. You may not consider this evidence for any other purpose. Specifically, you may not use it to conclude that if the defendant committed these acts, that she must also have committed the offenses with which she's been charged. You can only use the evidence for the limited purpose of how it goes to the defendant's state of mind, motive, and the nature of her relationship with John O'Keefe. And for the same findings that I made at sidebar.
No.
Yes.
So you walk out of the elevator, you're by yourself, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you see Mr. O'Keefe. Could you see where Mr. O'Keefe was in relation to the lobby or where he was coming from?
He was coming from the outside doors into the lobby.
Is that where the pool bar is located?
Opposite side.
Opposite.
Yes.
And when you see him come in, who, if anyone, did you see with him initially?
Nobody with him.
And what, if anything, was he doing or how was he acting sort of when he came?
I think this is the sister that that Karen thought he was fooling around with.
So he sort of stumbled in. I came out of the elevator and my initial response to him was, "Whoa, you okay?" I actually said, "Whoa, Godfather, are you okay?" But yeah, he was stumbling into the lobby.
And did you go over to him at that point?
I did. I went up to him and I gave him a hug.
And what happened then?
I pulled back. He was glassy-eyed, looking above me. We never made eye contact. He was looking above me. It looked like he was looking for someone. I asked him, "Where are you going?" assuming that he would be coming to the pool bar to meet us. He kept looking around and he indicated that he was going that way and pointed toward a bank of rooms to our right. And I said, "Well, you should go that way." And I stepped back and I guided him toward the area that he was going.
Now, as far as the bank of rooms to the right, you indicated that you were familiar or aware of where Mr. O'Keefe was and where the children were. Is that correct?
I know they were on the first floor. I'm not 100% positive as to where exactly their rooms were.
Okay. And if you know, did you know whether or not that Mr. O'Keefe was staying in the same room as Patrick and Kaylee at that point?
I didn't know if they were staying in the same room or not, no.
So you point him in that direction, and what happened?
So I pointed in that direction. He walked off. I continued out to the pool bar when I heard very loudly, his name screamed across the lobby very angrily, and it made me stop in my tracks.
And when you stop in your tracks, what happened then?
I started to turn around to come back in. So once you go out to the pool bar, you kind of go around a corner and you go out of view. So I turned around to go back in. As I'm going back in, I hear someone yell, "Who the fuck was that?" And as I come around the corner, I see Mr. O'Keefe walking toward a woman. And he said, excuse me. He said, "Calm down, that's Laura's little sister."
And what happened then?
When I came back around the corner, I said, after Mr. O'Keefe said, "Calm down, that's Laura's little sister," I said, "Hi, nice to meet you." That's when Miss Reed's head snapped up, and she very loudly told me to go fuck myself across the lobby. And I said, "Yeah, fuck you too," and walked away.
And just to be clear, when you say Miss Reed, this is someone that you became familiar with as the trip went along?
This was my first interaction with her. I had never been fully introduced to her at all. I just had seen her sitting by the side of the pool when I had been talking to Johnny earlier in the day.
And the person you know to be Miss Reed.
Hey, listen. Karen is not to be played with, okay? She was not gonna make nice with this woman she think is messing with her man. She was like, "Go F yourself." Oh God. Lisa, this is all about the fight in Aruba. They were trying to use that fight as a reason for her unaliving this man, and it was months later. I think this Aruba trip was like 3 months prior to the incident, the night in question. So basically, she'd been plotting on him for 3 months. I'm gonna get you. She was still spending nights at his house. She was still taking care of his niece and nephew. And they had been fighting, and they were having some rocky moments in their relationship. But just because I don't like you today doesn't mean I'm going to run you over with my car. They were out on a date that night. And there's a video of them hugging and him kissing her on the forehead and all of that right before he supposedly met his demise. And they're alleging it's her. Like, what would be the motive? Couples fight all the time. That don't mean you gotta go. I gotta get you up out of here.
Do you see her in the courtroom today?
I do.
Could you just describe as to where she's seated or an article of clothing that she's wearing?
Sure, she's in a black and white checkered blazer. She's 2 people in from you.
Just ask the record to reflect the identification of anybody.
Yes. Sell off that stand.
As far as Ms. Reed was concerned, what, if anything, did you observe as far as the defendants beyond the yelling? What, if anything, did you observe as far as her demeanor or how she was acting at the time that this interaction was going on?
She was just very loud. She very, energetically screamed for me to go fuck myself. She was waving her hands. Johnny was trying to calm her down. And after I said, "Yeah, fuck you too," I went out to the pool bar, so I didn't see much after that.
Happy birthday.
And could you hear anything as far as when we were walking out to the pool bar, as far as any other conversation between the defendant and Ms. Rose?
Not after that first time, no.
You go back or you go out to the pool bar, and who, if anyone, did you talk to?
I went straight up to my older sister, Laura, who was out to dinner with the couple the night before. And I said,
I'll allow this part.
I went up to her and I looked at her and I said, "John O'Keefe's girlfriend?" And she looked at me and said, "Karen?" And I said, "Yeah, you guys like her?" She said, "Yeah, she's okay." And I said, "Well, she sucks."
Now, following that, at any point in time later in that evening, did you see either Mr. O'Keefe or Ms. Reed later on that evening?
I did not see them, no.
And when was the next time that you did see
I saw them briefly on the 2nd, which was the day that we rented cabanas on the island.
And when you say you briefly saw them, can you describe?
So we had all rented the cabanas. Each family had one or they were sharing one. I was sharing one with my family down at the end. We got about halfway through the day and realized that their family cabana was still empty. So I saw them about halfway through the day when they did come to the cabana, and I briefly saw Miss Reed and Mr. O'Keefe at the pool, the island bar, that same day, but there was no conversation.
Now, with regard to Mr. O'Keefe and Miss Reed, at some point in time on that day of the cabanas, what, if any, conversation did you have with your sister regarding that?
So my
Objection.
I don't know what this is. I'll see you at Sidebar quickly.
Sidebar number 5, guys. What they about to?
Or what's your objection, Mr. Yannetti?
It's rank hearsay.
Okay, so let me hear what it is.
It's hearsay, but there's an exception to it because I'm not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted. So this is the conversation.
It is hearsay, but I just want the jury to hear it, so they can't unhear it.
That Laura Sullivan had with this witness in regard to what Mr. O'Keefe had told her about the defendant's impression of them making out, which I expect her to then testify that they did not.
All right, so this comes in as the same. Do you want that long instruction that I gave on Mr. O'Keefe's state of mind? I'll just say that. Remind them of the instruction that I gave them.
That's fine, yeah.
So it'll come in.
Thank you.
Jurors, please be mindful of that second instruction that I...
Really quickly, everybody say hello to my little sister. She's in the chat today. Hi, Sissy. Thank you for joining us today.
I gave you regarding evidence of statements made by John O'Keefe for the limited purpose of establishing his state of mind. And I will fully give you this instruction again at the end of the case. So it's the same one that I already gave you. Go ahead, Mr. Lally.
About this lady.
Sullivan, with regard to the day of the cabanas, did you have some conversation with your sister Laura in regard to Mr. O'Keefe and Ms. Reed?
I did.
And what, if anything, did your sister Laura tell you she had learned from Mr. O'Keefe?
So my sister pulled me aside from everybody and asked if the night that I got into the altercation with Miss Reed in the lobby, if I was making out with Mr. O'Keefe.
How did you respond?
That I absolutely was not.
And when you say absolutely was not, beyond the fact that it didn't occur, why would that not occur?
I'll allow it.
He was family. He was my older brother. For all intents and purposes, it just never would have happened between us.
And you expressed that to your sister, is that correct?
I did, yes.
He actually was not her
You
family.
may be seated.
Thank you. All right, so hopefully we will start and finish that one witness on Friday anyway, but have a second witness here.
I'll have at least a couple other witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, but it would be great if we could complete the testimony of that one witness for all sorts of reasons.
I will do my best. I'm hopeful. I am. I'm hopeful. I think we can do it.
Okay. Anything I need to look at or anything in particular for Friday?
Probably, but I can't think of it.
May we approach this briefly?
Okay.
They're approaching again. Listen, this is the end of day 16.
And I do know I need that flash drive or whatever
The enhanced video.
of the car.
Yes. I actually have a disc over there that I can give to the clerk.
A disc.
Okay. Is there something else?
So that, and I was going to raise it with counsel, but I think it makes sense to raise it with the court as well. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. But what I noticed with regard to Mr. Higgins's text, the way that they're downloaded, they're really ridiculous to read. So what?
The federal exhibit for the grand jury?
No. So these were that he had downloaded himself and provided it to the troopers. So that I think comes in as an exhibit. But what I've asked Ms. Gilman to do, and what I intended to use as far as a chalk, as far as what would be published to the jury, it also redacts all information indiscernible, and really all I'm concerned about when it comes to Mr. Higgins that I have is his communications with Mr. O'Keefe and his communications with Miss Reed. So what I had asked and what I have, and I'll give a copy to counsel and I can provide a copy to the court as well, is just essentially, it comes in the sense that it's a list of who's talking and the date and that kind of thing. And he can have a copy in front of him as to the time. But looking at those records and all those and trying to figure it out is difficult at best.
I have zero problem with that. I just need to see it and compare it.
So that would be something for you to handle tomorrow when I'm not here.
Sure, I can send it to both the court and counsel.
We might be able to come to an agreement, so.
Easy for you to say. You're not examining that witness, right?
We're all working on it, Your Honor.
All right, so Friday, anything. Like, it would have been nice to know that his video was contested and discernible. So
It's easy for you to say you're not examining that witness. What?
anything like that. All right.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the end of day 16. And then we're going to start on day 17 because we still have a few minutes to go, because day 17 is an hour and a half long. And so that we're not an hour and a half in on, or 2 hours in next Saturday, we're going to just go ahead and start today. Because y'all don't got nothing to do but be here with me.
Hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable Beverly Canoni, Justice of the Superior Court, holding in Dedham within and for the County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is in session. Please be seated.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. May we approach just briefly? My apologies.
They starting off with a sidebar.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just in reference to, and I apologize now for not having this conversation with Mr. Jackson sooner, but there is a little bit of disagreement as far as Mr. Higgins and the text messages. And I want to just clarify what the court's preference was before I begin. So I think we are in agreement that those redacted versions of the material that we received, the troopers received from Mr. Higgins, that would be marked as the exhibits. I would also, I don't think there is any issue or objection with the other version, the typed out version, that's easier to read being shown to the witness, or counsel can use it and refer to it for pagination and everything like that. Mr. Jackson, well, obviously he can speak for himself.
Why don't I let him speak?
Sure.
There is no problem with the transcripts. I asked Mr. Lally if anything is actually shown to the jurors as a visual, that it be the actual exhibit, not the transcripts. That's all. I don't care if the witness has the transcript. I'm going to use the transcript because I think it is very...
Yes, Lisa, that's the reason why we are here, because in this trial, trial 1 and trial 2, there was a lot of sidebars and there was a lot of decisions made at sidebar that the general public was not privy to. And at the conclusion, and it's supposed to be that way. Okay, it's absolutely supposed to be that way. But typically at the conclusion of trials, the sidebars are released and anybody could get a transcript of it. But this judge decided that she was going to seal the transcripts of the sidebars, that nobody would ever see those transcripts. And a lawyer decided to sue them so that they could release these sidebars. And that's exactly what happened. She sued them, she won. And so now we all have the privilege of hearing what happened during those sidebars. And this channel that we're following, the trial channel, they have masterfully put this together using some sort of AI, I believe, and been able to put voices to the sidebars. So really it's a transcript, and these voiceovers are done by AI. They're not, we can't actually hear them. It's just a transcript. So anyway, so now they went through, they found the time stamps where the sidebars happened, put them together with the testimony, the sidebars. It's a great time. So that's why we're doing this, so we can find out what really was happening behind the scenes in this whole conspiracy, because I believe it was a conspiracy.
Helpful. I just think that whatever the jurors see, they should see the actual evidence.
I mean, the whole purpose of it was for ease of the witness, ease of counsel, and ease of the jurors. I wish we had talked about this earlier today. What did you intend to do with the transcript? I found it helpful because it makes sense of what's otherwise been very difficult to follow. What did you intend to do with this?
Display it on the screen and have the witness go through portions of it. Not the whole thing, but different portions of it.
I did not print out the sort of messy what we have. Are you going to start with this right away or after the break?
No, I don't know how far I'll get, but...
Do you have printed out the sort of messy? It looks like Miss McLaughlin is going to get it.
She's got it.
Messy.
Can I keep this copy? I won't. All right, let me take a look at these. Thank you. Ms. McLaughlin, I am going to ask Mr. McDermott to make a copy of this.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Are we all set?
Sure.
Please, Mr. Lally.
Yes, sir. I was going to call Mr. Brian. Can you use the stand?
Well, this testimony is a good time. You're going to want to come back Saturday when it's cross-examination, because it's a good time. It's a good time. He's a very important witness, and you're about to find out why.
You saw this with the embassy of the court and jury in the case line here. Should you truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes.
And is that the message that you sent to Mr. O'Keefe while you were in the residence at 34 Fairview Road?
Yes, I said, are you coming here with followed by 3 question marks?
And again, Mr. O'Keefe, based on your recollection and based on the records you have before you, never responded to that text, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you never saw him after that, correct?
Never again, no.
May I approach this to retrieve, Your Honor?
Yes.
And may we go?
He is one of the people that they suspected could have been the one that did something to John that night. Remember, he and this is Brian Higgins. He and Brian Albert, the homeowner, they are the ones that was on that video at the waterfall that was shadow boxing. He is the big figure that we saw. The big figure.
Jurors, feel free to stand up and stretch.
Sidebar.
Wait for Mr. Jackson.
Sure. At this point, I would be starting to get into the text communications between this witness and the defendant. So I was just...
All right. So we will take a morning recess.
Thank you, sissy. Bye-bye.
So one thing I want to know, can Miss Gilman
Enhance those?
blow up these because it's so much easier?
We've got an entire set of these. I don't know why you're not using this. This is that.
It was produced in Discovery.
It was produced in Discovery. What? It's even better. That is that.
Slow down.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Yannetti, I'm going to hear from Mr. Jackson.
Understood.
Miss Little, the same for you.
I'm so sorry.
Do you have...
I don't have it in that.
Okay, so she's mad that all the lawyers are giving her their opinion or thoughts. So if you are the attorney that is crossing the witness, she only wants to talk to you, which is wild because they are a team. Some of them do the research, some of them do the arguing. And so I don't understand why it can only be the person that's doing the cross.
Form. I just have it as the court has it. I'm sure I can talk to Miss Gilman about focusing on that.
Hi, Sissy.
This was produced at the same time that this stuff was produced by the other entity.
This is something that he provided to the troopers, and we provided to you. So that's what I'm saying. I have it like this. But I'm sure I can ask Miss Gilman if she can blow up this and just go down that way.
So I would like to see it. I'd like to see what you have up on the screen. There was... Mr. Higgins, you can step down, sir.
May I inquire of Miss Little one quick question?
Sure. Go right ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Why don't you step aside while speaking?
Okay, that answers my question. I just want to make life easier because that is really easy. This is what I've been working off for months. We actually got that from Mr. Lally. It's on a disc that you gave us. We just downloaded it. So you may not have seen it, but you've got it.
Was that on the disc that went to the grand jury the same day Higgins went? It would be like a grand jury exhibit, 11, 12, 13, or 14, or something like that?
Yes.
Because that's what I was reviewing when I was looking at this last night. Do you happen to have that CD with you?
I don't have the CD, but I believe Miss Gilman should have what's on there loaded up. But I'm not sure. I'd have to check with her.
All right. I do just want to say, I thought following the exhibit that went in 103, following the text messages back and forth were John O'Keefe and Mr. Higgins, it was difficult to follow in a sort of bubble format.
It was terrible.
So I would like to facilitate something that the jurors can see and have. I know it's important to your case. I'll give you time to do it. But if Miss Gilman can just do two things, if she can tell you, if she can pull out what is Exhibit 104, if she can pull that format up now so I can see it to see if the actual text messages
show up.
Can show up. Are yours marked?
No.
Or do you have them unmarked?
I was going to say I'll let him use my copy that's already printed. I've got an Elmo set up right there. I just want to get this done expeditiously.
I know. Rather than him using your copy, if you can, how many pages is it?
56.
It's 56 in this format. All right.
80 to 90 pages for both.
We can make a hard copy. If you can take that and make a hard copy, I want you to have your own copy to follow along with.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't want to prejudice you in any way because the Commonwealth is using your copy. Run it through a copier.
Yes, that would be great. I'll just give you my entire copy to go downstairs and make a whole copy of it.
Okay.
You can use the Elmo.
Hopefully you have somebody who can do that for you. Let's wait. Miss McLaughlin is talking to Miss Gilman because what I'm concerned about is what has been entered as the exhibits. You can't tell who is saying what.
I actually thought, we'd introduce this as the exhibit, which is why I was saying, your transcript is great, but this is just as good. Like, why not show this on the... I wasn't even thinking about that. That's ugly and hard to deal with.
It's ugly.
This is what I was dealing with, these two.
You haven't seen this either?
No.
Okay.
So that's why I did not.
What is that?
When I reviewed the grand jury minutes for the previous motions, I did not recall that this was on that disc.
Okay.
Miss McLaughlin, if you could return here for a minute, please. I think what we are going to do to speed things along is Mr. Jackson or MS Little will give the Commonwealth what they have that was provided by the Commonwealth that I really do think was probably that disc at the grand jury, 14 or 15 or something, the grand jury exhibit. We will copy it or somebody can copy it, and y'all can use that unless you think Miss Gilman has this that she can pull up.
During the morning recess, if we can either check that we have it and then, but if the defendants will make a copy of it to have, and then in the meantime, we'll also be looking at what Miss Gilman has available.
Can I trouble you, Tori, to make a copy of this? Okay.
That would be good. No problem.
All right. So I know there is an interest in getting this moving. I do think Mr. Lally is moving it forward quite a bit.
I do too.
And just on that note, if you are not going to be here Tuesday, depending on how things are later, I need to have a colloquy with your client about that. We can do it at Sidebar so it's not a spectacle.
Of course. That makes perfect sense.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll be in recess.
Recess.
You are unmuted.
That's Dan.
What is that? Session may be seated.
So while the jurors are coming in, why don't I see counsel?
Oh my God. Sidebar 3. We still ain't got the witness.
All right. So are you all set, Mr. Lally, with this?
Just about. So this is what will go to the jury as a physical copy and what I would show to Mr. Higgins. All the numbers have been blacked out on that.
Okay.
Miss Gilman is, I think, through about 63 of these.
Okay.
As far as the computer is concerned.
Okay.
So what I've suggested with her is that once we get beyond that page, if she is going to show anything beyond page 63, take it down off the screen, do it on her screen, bring it up, scroll down past the number, and then put it up. I mean, the number isn't something that I need to show.
Okay. Are you satisfied with that?
That's fine with me.
So what I'd like to do...
She'll finish that subsequently.
All right. The copy that I got regarding John O'Keefe's email, just the way I got it, was in reverse order. I don't know if yours is like that too.
Ours is like that.
So before that goes to the jury, we just need to flip it into the proper order. And I would like that to be marked 103A.
I think it's in, I'm sorry, not to interrupt, I think it's in reverse order because that's how it appears in the phone. So it's screenshots. So if you reverse it, it's going to be all mixed up.
All right. But it's different than what Mr. Lally had, what's in 103. It starts on November 24th. What you have ends on November 24th.
Right. But if you mix it, the conversations are going to be out of order.
Okay. We can just put it in as 103. There is one thing I wanted to just alert you to. I received a motion of the blogger who is usually here, named Jessica Machado, at 7:37 this morning. She said, I will not be in the courtroom today at the Karen Reed trial due to a previously scheduled meeting that I just can't miss. I know I have major FOMO at Turtle Boy. Okay. Anything else?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Jurors, we appreciate your patience. We actually made things easier for you. So it was worth the time. And Mr. Lally, if you're going to start, are you going to start right with messages?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Folks, be mindful of the instruction I've given you on digital evidence, on what you have to find before you consider them. Also, I want to tell you that what you're going to hear or see is testimony about certain statements allegedly made by the defendant. You're to view those statements solely for the limited purpose of the defendant's state of mind, as it might go to the nature of the relationship with John O'Keefe and potential motive. Okay? All right, Mr. Lally, go right ahead.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Wait.
I have no further questions of this witness, Your Honor.
I'll see you for 1 minute.
You guys see the message that appeared on the screen? They said we are not going through all those sex messages again. Oh God, the trial channel cut out all of that stuff. They was like, ain't no way we sitting through all of that. So for those of you all that didn't watch the trial, there's a lot of messages between Brian Higgins, the witness on the stand, and Karen. There was an attempt at some type of romantic interlude between the two of them. So he knew John. I don't believe they were friends, but they knew each other because, I mean, that's a small town, and they both were in law enforcement. Everybody know everybody. And Brian Higgins is actually a federal officer. He is an ATF agent. He had a satellite office at the Canton PD. So, they probably ran across each other and passing. They knew a lot of the same people, whatever. But he had been flirting with Karen, and apparently there was a kiss between the two of them. And then at some point, Karen stopped responding. And the night in question, when they're all at the waterfall bar, he's texting Karen while she's there with John, and she's not responding to any of his text messages. And then they start inviting John to go back to the Alberts home, which is another reason why they kind of think either there was a plan to get John there, maybe to confront him, maybe to tell him what was going on, whatever the case may be. But that is kind of the thought. And so those are kind of the gist of the text messages. And it was a lot, not just between the two of them, but him and other people. It's a lot of text messages. There's this butt dial that happens. It's a lot. So anyway, I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of the background on that. We're going to go maybe 5 more minutes. So kind of like hanging there with me, guys.
Over here at Sidebar before we begin. Jurors, feel free to stand up.
Another sidebar? We ain't never going to get the witness. This is sidebar number 4 on day 17.
I'm sorry, you're not getting into the proffer, are you?
I was going to, yes. At some point, I'm going to ask him about the proffer, and I was going to ask to approach first. I think it's exceedingly important that the jurors understand that he...
Do we know anything about that proffer?
I know that it was...
I don't think the proffer means what counsel thinks it means.
Well, the point is, he's represented by counsel, right? So we're going to have a voir dire, or at least, unless you can show me that that proffer has nothing to do with his testimony here, I'm not letting it in.
The only thing I'll ask him about it certainly has a lot to do with his testimony here, because the proffer was obviously the subject matter. The only question is, do I style it as a proffer? I wasn't going to ultimately say, did you give an interview or a statement? And in that interview, you knew that you were testifying under a grant of immunity. If the court doesn't want me to, then I will follow the court's instructions.
Not with that foundation. And I know you're in a hurry to get this done, and I don't want that to interfere with anything. Is his lawyer here today? Do we know?
He's right here. That's a question I'm going to ask him.
Oh, about his lawyer?
Right.
So not till after lunch, and he's got a right to talk to his lawyer about this. I see a hearing here at Sidebar. It's not as simple as we've said. And from what you said is the foundation.
Have y'all noticed that all of these witnesses that was at the house, 34 Fairview, on the night in question, that claimed to be John O'Keefe's friends, they all got lawyers? I'm just saying, they all got lawyers. Why? Why they got lawyers? Lying liars.
I don't see any. So I need to explore a little more and...
It's not a big part of my cross.
All right. So you decide.
I'll decide on the fly. I certainly won't do anything without approaching you first.
Okay.
Is it possible that we could do a 45-minute lunch instead of an hour?
I was thinking that. So let's see where you go.
Thank you.
He's trying to get home to his partner. Now he got to get out of here. Wrap this up.
All right, Mr. Jackson, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Who did you come here today with, Mr. Higgins?
Who did I travel to the courthouse with?
Who did you meet here?
An attorney, my attorney.
Is there a reason that you felt compelled to bring an attorney with you for your testimony as a witness in a homicide investigation?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Trial, I should say.
Sustained.
You brought your attorney with you who's sitting right behind you, correct?
That is not my attorney.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were his attorney. My mistake. Where's your attorney?
I don't know. He might be in the courthouse.
Is he in the building?
I don't know where he physically is right now.
Okay. Without telling me anything that you said to your attorney, did you meet with him this morning before your testimony?
Yes.
Did you meet with him during the break? Again, don't tell me what you talked about, but did you meet with him during the break when we took a break a few minutes ago?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And obviously the subject matter, again, without telling me any communication, the subject matter was your testimony here today, correct?
No.
How many conversations have you had with Mr. Lally about your testimony or your proposed testimony in anticipation of you testifying today?
1.
When was that?
That was on Monday.
How long was that conversation?
I would say under an hour and a half.
In person or over the phone?
In person.
Where was that conversation?
That was at the DA's office.
Who else was there?
My attorney, victim witness advocate, I believe her name is Kristen Collins, ADA McLaughlin, ADA Lally, and Lieutenant Brian Tully from the Mass State Police.
Anybody taking notes?
I did not. I don't know if anybody was taking notes.
Well, you were sitting there watching Lieutenant Tully. Did he take notes?
Not that I saw, no.
So you had an hour and a half long conversation with the prosecution team and a police officer witness, and you're telling me that you did not see anybody taking a single note down. Is that right?
That's correct. I did hand something to Lieutenant Tully, but he didn't take any notes in reference to what I handed him.
What'd you hand him?
I handed him a piece of mail that I got at my residence.
Anything having to do with this case?
Well, I believe so.
Was that turned over to Mr. Lally?
No, I turned it over to State Police.
Your Honor, may we approach for a second?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to approach. I got questions. You got a piece.
I have no idea what that is. He received a harassing photograph in the mail. A what? A harassing photograph in the mail. What kind of photograph? I don't know exactly what it was, but it was in reference to along the lines of threats in regards to his testimony. So you may want to stay away from it.
My question, I will. My question is, why don't I know about that? Why would I have to find that out in my fourth question to this witness on the stand?
Mm-hmm.
I am becoming frustrated at the revelations.
Yeah.
Every single witness has had multiple conversations with the Commonwealth that I find out on that podium.
Mm-hmm.
It is very, very debilitating and extraordinarily unfair.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to do about it?
What?
Nothing. In this instance, Judge, it's certainly not your fault, and I don't want to touch it. But I certainly cannot be seen to have opened a door that I didn't know existed.
So Mr. Lally is not allowed to get into it.
Okay.
Unless you are going to pursue it?
No.
Why?
But I would ask that the Commonwealth be instructed. If you have information that you gleaned from a witness during the course of your prep, I should have it. Every single statement of a witness needs to be disclosed, and it's not being disclosed.
It is being disclosed, Your Honor. There was no statement that is material or relevant to this case. Whether or not he received any kind of threatening or harassing photograph has no bearing on his testimony.
Can you get it here at lunch?
Probably. Mr. Yannetti, I have a question for Mr. Jackson. Do you want it brought here at lunch?
No, I don't need it.
Okay, so let's go.
Ooh, they was doing some underhanded stuff, wasn't it?
Other than that piece of mail that you handed to Lieutenant Tully, was there any other exchange of documents or anything like that? Have you shown anything in anticipation of your testimony?
The only thing I can be recalled showing was a photograph of the exterior of 34 Fairville Road in Canton.
What about the text messages that you just went over extensively? Were you shown those?
I was shown a pile of papers, and I was advised that those text messages were going to be, they were put into another format so they were easier to read.
And these are the screenshots that you've just described on the exhibit.
Well, as I said, he showed me the stack, said they were the text messages. They were in a different format, but I'm assuming that's what they were.
What was your assignment with the ATF back in 2022? You also know Brian Albert well enough to know what his relationship with, for instance, the other guy that you traveled back from New York with, Eddie Hernandez.
I do know Eddie Hernandez. I actually know Eddie the longest out of everybody.
So you knew Eddie, or Officer Hernandez,
Objection, Your Honor.
Ask the question.
You knew Officer Hernandez before you ever knew Brian Albert.
Yes.
You knew him before you even knew Kevin Albert.
Yes.
And you're aware that there was a physical altercation
Objection,
between
Your Honor.
Brian Albert and Eddie Hernandez that you're aware of, correct?
The objection sustained.
Are you aware that Brian Albert had gotten into a fist fight with Eddie Hernandez?
Objection.
Sustained.
Were you out of...
Hold on. We could talk about Karen and John having an argument, but we cannot talk about Brian Albert and Eddie Hernandez having a fight. We can't talk about that. What is child? Listen, the hypocrisy of it all.
Christmas party when that happened?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained as to that form. You can be specific.
Have you ever been at an event with Brian Albert and Eddie Hernandez and seen them fight?
Objection.
Christmas 5 years or so before 2022.
Okay, the objection sustained.
You do know that Brian Albert has a reputation for being a fighter.
Objection.
Sustained.
You were asked in a formal interview, do you recall, I want to make sure I'm clear about some of your prior statements. You had a formal interview with some folks prior to your testimony at a prior proceeding. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I'm tracking.
Okay.
I'm
At
trying.
the formal interview, which is what I'm going to call that.
Okay.
The formal interview, you were asked about Brian Albert and his reputation, were you not? Yes or no?
Yes.
You indicated in that formal interview that even Chief Berkowitz was
Objection.
quote, a little afraid of Brian Albert.
All right, so that is the objection sustained. That's stricken. I'll see you at sidebar.
All right, I'm going to stop right here. We'll go over the sidebar. We'll continue right here next Saturday. Baby, they do not want to talk about Brian Albert being a fighter. And it's wild to me because as the defense has been arguing, John looked like he was in a fight, not that he was hit by a 6,000-pound vehicle. He looked like he had been in a fight. There is absolutely no bruising on this man except on his face, the back of his head, and the marks on his arm that look like dog bites. That's it. If you are hit by a car, you could or should have some broken bones, bruising to your muscles, your body. He didn't have any of that. There was no lower body damage at all. She is supposed to have backed into him. So, it's so funny that you calling it Fight Club. I don't know if you saw my latest video, but I actually titled it Fight Club. So, the number one rule to Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Listen, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining me on another Saturday live. I'm gonna wrap it up here. We will go into part 2 of day 17 next week, where we will continue the cross-examination of this witness. Until then, remember, the world has never met another you. Go out and be great in it. Thank y'all so much for spending y'all Saturdays with me. I definitely appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.